This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm in sunny Miami, delighted to be joined by Luke Keeler ahead of his world title challenge. Luke, matter of days away now. What's the mood like? How you feeling ahead of biggest fight of your career today?
Great, yeah. My weight is a lot less than it usually is, like a lot less to lose, so it's comfortable. You know, we got here Wednesday night, settled into the time, so it's everything's going really smooth. It's a great place as well, isn't it?
I wanted to ask you about that, coming out to Miami and preparing for the biggest fight of your life. I think it's your first stateside fight as a pro. How's that sort of adjustment been? Are you enjoying it? Have you found it okay?
Yeah, look, I made the conscious decision that I'll enjoy the build-up, I'll enjoy the whole event, I won't get stressed, you know, like it's important to enjoy the time here beforehand as well. So it's gone really smooth and really happy, you know.
Before we come on to the fight itself, your world title charge against Demetrius Andrade, I just want to go back a bit. Just doing a bit of reading. Read that you almost walked away from boxing after winning the Irish title. You had a sort of successful business venture on the side and all that sort of stuff. Can you just talk to me about that time in your life and this crazy run of form you've been on since?
Yeah, I always worked full time from the start of my career, so I spent 4 or 5 years working at full time hours as well as boxing professional. So after the Irish title fight, I had tear in my shoulder, I had hand trouble in that fight, and it was stressful. I wasn't happy with the performance, and as I said, I had a good job and things were going well that regard, and it was kind of 50-50 on what road I was going to take. So I knew if we went down that road with my own business, I'd get sucked into it, and the boxing, I didn't want any regrets, so I went full time, first time in my life. It took me till I was 30 to actually have the balls to do it, but since then it's just night and day, you know. So people might look at my record and they might say, look, not great performances there, but the last 2 years and especially working with Pete Taylor as my coach, it's just I'm a different fire, you know.
I was going to ask you about Pete Taylor next. How big an influence has he been in this resurgence since you, as you mentioned, went full time, and this great run of form you've been on as well? How important has he been to have around?
Yeah, like he's an amazing coach. You'll see it over the coming years with other fighters as well in the camp. We've 10 good pros there, and he'll start getting more and more credit with the level of fighters he's producing. You know, I don't think he gets enough credit, but he's been instrumental in that last 2 years with myself. You know, and he's changed me as a fighter.
After you sort of made that decision to focus on the boxing and give it a go and have no regrets, as you said, at what point did you realise you'd made a very, very good decision? Was it after the first Conrad Cummins fight? When was it? Yeah,
I was just I was just really enjoying myself. Like trying to walk and juggle things was just constantly stressful. So even from the first couple of weeks where I was just training twice a day, resting right, eating correctly, of a guy, gym nutrition at home, looking after me meals. Before, when you're on building sites, you're eating like chicken fillet rolls and stuff. So it was nearly instant. It wasn't even after Conrad. I knew my body was changing. I was loving training with P. The Conrad Cummins fight kind of proved it, you know, to myself, gave me confidence, and it's kind of just progressed since then, you know.
To sort of come on at the fight with Demetrius Andrade, you know, you're coming in as an underdog. That won't come as any surprise to hear. But there's already been all these public negotiations of what's going to come next for him. There's talking Jamal Charlo, Eddie Hearn's talking about sending offers via Instagram DMs. Do you feel like you're being overlooked?
Yeah, it's clear to see, isn't it? And it's a dangerous mindset as a fighter to be looking and looking to the future. You know, you see it all the time in boxing, and like I'm sure he's a professional guy and he's trained well, but the camp I've put in, there was talk of fights in December, that the camp I've put in, it was amazing, and regardless of whether he looks past me or overlooking me, the tactics and the training we're at putting in, I'm 100% going to take that belt, you know.
Does it affect your mindset at all when you come into a fight where you're not necessarily expected by the majority of people to win, where you are the underdog and you've got it all to gain?
Yeah, it's easier. I always describe it as being easier, you know, like it's easier as the underdog. There's more pressure. There's going to be pressure on Andrade. There's pressure on Andrade to be entertaining, which he's not, you know, like he's the one under pressure. He's going to have to entertain. He's going to have to come and fight. There's zero pressure on me, and I think it'll play a part as well, you know.
So I heard you reference in the build-up to this fight that despite of Andrade's talent, he perhaps hasn't had a marquee win as such, and you know, all that sort of stuff. What have you seen of him? What flaws have you seen in him that make you hopeful you'll go home to Ireland as a new middleweight world champion Thursday evening?
I think like he's obviously technically brilliant. He's world-class skills, but I don't know whether he's just relying on his talent and skills and going through the motion, not wanting to get hit. He doesn't seem to really turn her on, you know. He won't leave himself in the ring. I think my commitment and fire and passion and leaving her all in the ring will have caused problems from, you know, and that hasn't happened in middleweight yet. I think fires are nearly overawed by him and happy to go the distance and flick and leave him in his comfort zone. He's coming up against a fire that's going to be on his chest with educated pressure, and that's going to see the win, you know.
Do you see it could be sort of a rude awakening when he gets there and realises just how game you are and that you will not go anywhere for the fight? You mentioned there sometimes opponents at times may be in awe of him, but as you said, that won't be coming with you Thursday evening.
Yeah, look, I've no way in awe of him, you know. He's just another fighter to me. I'm going in there to win. I'm going to work for 3 minutes each round. I think that'd be the first time he has that with educated pressure, with great tactics. So I think, and then when he sees that in me and he sees I'm not talking bullshit, and then he'll have like what he put in camp, and he'll have little doubts, and it'll all compound on the night, you know.
We just talk about timing in boxing. You're on this great run, this opportunities arise. Do you feel like this is the perfect time for you to be challenging for the world title?
Yeah, I know people do say that, you know, like the stars are aligning and different quotes, but it really does feel that way, you know. Everything is going really smoothly. I have a great run of form, and even since the last fight, I knew I had to improve, so I went straight back in, and my body has responded great. I've been very lucky in camp. Everything's responding great. I think I'm really a niggle, like just a hindrance to this guy. He wants the big names, as you said. So all these little things kind of balance the scales, and you'll see it on Thursday night.
I know you mentioned that the pressure's all on Andrade, and you're not really feeling the pressure going into this one, but have you thought at all about what could lie in the wait if you do manage to pull off the upset and you crown world champion?
Yeah, like you have to let your mind wander, don't you? Like I do look towards that. I'm going to take this belt home to Dublin, and there's huge fights after that, and there's huge fights because of my style as well, you know. Like I think Andrade, I think he's nearly arrogant in his, like, you know, you have to entertain fans as well with boxing. It's not all about hitting and not getting hit, you know. So that's adding pressure on him. I think Eddie came out and said that himself. So the pressure's on him, and it'll show on the night, I think.
The Irish get behind their own, particularly in boxing, like no other community, no other country. It's incredible. What's the response been like for this one for yourself as a Dublin man coming and fighting for a world title?
Yeah, it's special and it's heartwarming, isn't it? Like there's a real good, like, well wishing back home, like especially with community in Ballyfermot, people putting out banners and stuff already. You know, there's a real buzz, but it's good. It's just a lift shed. There's a lot of people travelling over. If the Americans weren't that strict, there'd be a lot more, you know, the embassy. But there's a great crowd travelling over, great crowd coming down from New York as well. My uncle actually lives in Miami. There's a huge crowd. I think even though Andrade is the American here, like there's going to be an Irish groundswell of support, you know. You'll see it on the night.
Second that, the Irish always make themselves known wherever they are, no matter how many of them there are as well. Does a win here set up a potential clash with your old mate Conor McGregor back home?
Yeah, you never know, you know. Like he's talking about wanting to win a world title, isn't he? So you never know. He's doing his thing. I'll focus on my thing, you know.
I'll leave the final word to you, Luke. I don't want to keep you too much longer. You mentioned there's loads of people coming out, there's people are putting banners up back home, all this crazy support. What final message would you give to all of those rallying behind you ahead of your world middleweight title challenge Thursday evening in Miami? It's great, you know. It is really lifting me, and I'll do the business. A lot of people backing me as well, so there's a bit of pressure there, you know. But no, it's great. It really warms the heart, getting letters and messages and stuff. So just like to thank them for that, you know. Luke Keeler, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social. Best of luck with fight week, and we'll see you after fight night as well. Thank you.